What's up, y'all? We are back. This is episode 4 of the Washington Nationals Out of the Park Baseball 24 series. We're here at the end of the 2024 season, and probably the end of like this. I don't want to call it a prologue to the series, but the first 2 years I knew I wasn't gonna be competing, but it was kind of a try to build up some talent and make a run in the third year. So this is the end of like the prologue area. So we finished 71-91, which is a huge improvement from last year, where we finished 58 and 104. So we had a really good August, 16 and 11, and it felt like we weren't going to make the playoffs or anything, but it felt like we were on a good track. And then September we didn't do quite as well, and didn't have a great finish to the season, but there's some reasons for optimism. We'll start with our first overall pick last year, the second overall pick in the draft, Paul Skeens. Did not have a great season, but I think he's going to keep improving. Hopefully he can become a good number 2 starter. I don't know if he's going to be an ace or anything, but the WAR is only 1. Our WAR is negative, but I don't know. I still have hope for him. He's not the pitcher that we thought we were getting, I think, but it's similar to that pitcher, I guess. The control's not quite as good, which is an issue. He did walk over 3 guys per 9, which I don't love, but that's okay. Let's see. What else is there to talk about? Steven Strasburg wound up staying healthy pretty much the whole year. I'm hoping... The reason I jumped in here is I'm hoping he'll retire. He has no ability left. And, I'm hoping he retires at the end of the year, because then we'll also have Corbin off the books, who, for what it's worth, actually didn't have a bad year. He's stuck in the rotation the whole season. He was 160 innings. He's not a good pitcher or anything, but... his WAR was actually positive, which is pretty cool. Okay, so then guys that actually matter. Noah Rivera made 8 starts for me down the stretch. He was okay. He's still a piece. I don't know if he's a starter with that control, but man, he could be a lockdown reliever for sure at worst. So yeah, if he gets that control up to a 35, even a 40, 40 I'd start him. 35 I'd probably pitch him as a reliever. But yeah, he looks like a legit guy. Kate Cavalli had a pretty good season, had a really good start to end the season. 6 2/3, no runs. He was hurt for a little bit of it, but had a really nice finish to the year. His August and September were pretty good compared to his first 3 months. So, hopefully he can, slide to our rotation next year. Andrew Lara, I don't know if he's a top prospect or anything, but... he made a couple starts for me down the stretch. He pitched really well in his last 2. The first 2 were rough, but he'll probably compete for a starting rotation spot at age 21. And then Josiah Gray out of the bullpen, man. I don't know if he's going to be a reliever of the year type guy, but man, give us 100 innings at 3.37 ERA ball. You take out his 12.34 ERA as a starter, and man, his reliever numbers look really good. Cole Henry had a good year. Andrew Vasquez was pretty good. Art Warren we called up, and he pitched well. Riley Pint came up for a little bit at the end of the year. I don't even know if Gabot will be with us next year. He's due for arbitration. $1.3 million, maybe. Then Jacob Lopez pitched well as well. Thad Ward got a couple games. Mackenzie Gore, I don't know if he's going to be a long-term piece at this point. He didn't really show me much, but he was, for what it's worth, much better in September. He pitched a lot in the minors, probably in these couple months. So, in September he was pretty good. So we'll probably give him a shot next year. Then offensively, this is where there's a lot of optimism, I think. So I think this is all levels. Yeah. So we'll sort by WAR. So CJ Abrams, man, he put in a heck of a year. 336 average. He won the batting title. 135 WRC plus, 12 home runs, which I didn't know he had that in him after putting up 4 all of last year. He was just a complete stud. Love having him in the lineup. Then Luis Garcia, man, what a year he had, and what a finish to the year he had. September and October, even August, September, October, he absolutely killed it. Finished with a 116 WRC plus. He'll have a spot on the team. I don't know if he's a long-term guy, but he's only 24, plenty of time. And then James Wood, man, called him up just about at mid-season, had him just play every day in left field and see what you got. And he showed a lot. 141 WRC plus, walking over 10% of the time. The strikeout rate wasn't insane. And yeah, just overall really good numbers. 2.3 WAR would be like a 4.5 win player in a full season. Then Caber Ruiz, with last time we checked in on him, I believe he had like an 80 WRC plus in July, and man, he had a outstanding August. Batted 406, 208 WRC plus. Put up 1.5 WAR in that month, and then September did just not quite as good, but put up an all-star September, and then October in 6 games did really well. So yeah, he finished with some overall good numbers to end the year. I still don't know where he's gonna be long term. His defense isn't really good enough, and I would like a better defensive catcher, but he could play some first base. He could play some DH. We'll figure out a spot for him long term. Hojie Siri, the ratings don't really show it, but he had a really nice season. Almost 20 home runs. The offensive numbers overall don't look great, but played a great center field. So he's due for arbitration. 2.2 mil. I might give that to him just to keep him around. And then Trey Lipscomb was kind of a nothing guy, but he was playing pretty well in AAA, so called him up. And, man, he got off to a red-hot start. And, honestly, the overall numbers on the year look really good. I'm pretty sure, he kind of stumbled in August, September, October. But, yeah, these couple months are really good. So, he'll have a spot on the team. Maybe not starting, but platoon guy potentially. Then Robert Hassel. Not quite as good as James Wood, but still put up a really good half season himself. Walking almost 10%. A good year for him. Is there anyone else even worth talking about down here? Not really. Wilfred Veras, we called him up again. He didn't really do too much. Antunia, kind of same story, but he did have a nice little stretch in August where he played pretty well. But I think that's about it to talk about. So let's sim through the playoffs here. And then I just want to sim into the off season when it does happen. Oh my god. Oh, Nabil Christmas too. Duh, should talk about him. He got hurt at the end of the year, which is why I kind of forgot about him. But yeah, he put up a really nice season. 28 starts, 343 innings, 3.3 WAR. Like he had a heck of a year. We claimed him off waivers last season, and yeah, he showed a lot for us last year and this year. So he'll definitely have a spot in the rotation next season. So I need to activate him. Send down Riley Pint, and then hey, how they make you take guys off the roster even though the season's over. Okay, so let's get a live look at the playoffs here. Honestly, I kind of forgot who won last year. Let's see. League history. Here we go. So 2023, Rangers, Braves. Not crazy, actually. So Braves won last year. And let's look at it now. So yeah, the Rangers didn't even make the playoffs after making the World Series last year. It's pretty tough, but I guess I could just sim through this. This isn't really worth. I'll pick up day before the offseason starts. Okay, so the Cincinnati Reds just won the World Series 4-1 against the Astros, and let's hop into the offseason here. See if there's any big news. Hoping Strasburg retires, but I'm not exactly banking on that happening. But after I saw Rushman kind of retire after having an MVP season a year before and then falling off a cliff, I think it's possible. So 260, much better. We had one score last year, so it's good to see. So okay, personnel leaving. Shit, he did not retire. God damn it. All right, well, we have to release him then. I don't know. God. All right, we'll have to figure that out. But at least Corbin came off the books. We should be good. So this guy lied about his age. Interesting. Okay, that's pretty cool. So yeah, our owner's happy that we. Let's see. He's happy about Abrams. That's good. Attendance. Yeah, attendance is good. Fans engaged. Cool. So our owner is pretty happy. It looks like they want us to increase attendance 10,000 people. Wow. I mean, it's doable. Team payroll around 140 million. I don't know if that's higher than last year or what, but so Cannon Handy still the #1 prospect in baseball. Looks like he made it to the majors, but man, I mean, I don't see it. I don't see it. He had a pretty good taste, but we'll see. Then Augustus Schwartz for us is the #5 prospect in baseball as the offseason begins, and Tommy White slots in #23. Made it up to high A last year. Split time between A and high A. I probably could have pushed him farther, but give him some experience down there. He struck out a lot, so which is a little concerning, so that's why I kept him down. But yeah, he's the #23 prospect in baseball, our #1 overall pick last year. And man, we have a lot of money to spend, so that's good. Another guy's Namala, #49 prospect in baseball. Just lost a little bit, but that was to be expected. Still looks like a good player. Didn't do too much in rookie ball last year, though. And Jarlin Susanna, I'm just seeing this now. Torn flexor tendon, so he'll be out for the whole year, or at least most of the season. #77 prospect in baseball. Then Armando Cruz, falling down a bit. #140. Still has the defensive upside, but he didn't do anything with the bat this year between A and high A. I guess that's about it. We're now 6th in prospects. George Wolkow fell down quite a bit. He was a fringe top 100, top 200 guy. Josenberger had a really good year down in the minors, so I'm hoping he can keep his ascension, but he looks like he fell down in the prospect rankings. Then anyone else that's really worth talking about? Injury Lara's down here. He's on the Major League squad. This guy was a 15th round pick last year, just a reliever, but man, he looks like a hell of a pitcher. Didn't do anything last year in A though, so I'll probably push him to high A, but he's got to get some results eventually. So this is where we stand going into the offseason. Guys coming off the books. Corbin, obviously, it's $35 million that we now get to spend. Hedges, who had a overall pretty decent year, is our starting / backup catcher. I'll take a 64 WRC plus from this guy with these ratings any day of the week. Then Tony Kemp, who is actually a pretty nice little utility man for us. Good leader. He's a captain, so maybe I'll bring him back. We'll see. He was unhappy that he wasn't starting. Then McCutcheon was also a nice player for us. So I'll hop into arbitration stuff, and I'll come back with what we plan on doing here. All right, we'll do a quick recap on awards. Gold Glovers in the AL. Gold Glovers in the NL, we had Jose Siri out in center field. Put up a 15.2 zone rating out there, so well-deserved. Reliever of the year, Class A in the AL, Daniel Hanskraus in the NL. And Josiah Gray finished 4th, actually, so probably based off pure quality of it or quantity of innings. AL Silver Sluggers, love to see Giancarlo, my favorite player, still hanging in there. Actually, 2 really good years in a row for the Yanks. Then in the NL, we had C.J. Abrams win at second base, so that is very cool. Rookie of the Year, Marcelo Mayer in the AL, and Johnny DeLuca in the NL, followed by his teammate Edwin Arroyo. Manager of the Year, we have the Houston guy and David Bell for the Reds, who won the World Series. Zach Wheeler, now of the Angels. He was traded there last season for Brooks Lee, who somehow wound up on the Angels, and Luis Serna. Former Yankees prospect. Yes, he is. Pretty good package. And then he signed an extension with them. So he's with the Angels, wins the Cy Young in his first year there. Aaron Nola now with the Astros, so those Philly guys. Moving on. Then in the NL, we have Kyle Wright winning it. Jaden Hill right behind him for the Rockies. Holy crap. I wish I got this guy when I did my Rockies save. Holy crap. 6.2 WAR. I mean, you had a good argument to win it with those numbers in Colorado, but Kyle Wright did have a good year. A really good year. Then AL MVP Aaron Judge had another insane season after being hurt last year. And then in the NL, Ohtani wins, doing 4.6 WAR as a DH and 3.7 WAR as a pitcher. Will almost always get you that. He didn't even win unanimously though. Arenado stole a couple of votes. Michael Harris stole some first place votes. So there's a recap on awards. I'm going to sum up to free agency filings, and I guess we can go over arbitration, guys. Josiah Gray does not want to negotiate with me, so we'll go to arbitration with him. Then Mackenzie Gore, same story. I am non-tendering Ian Gabo. He's okay, but he's out of options, and I don't know if I want to. If you had an option year, I'd probably keep him around, but we want some flexibility with our bullpen this season. And then I offered some minor league guys already. These are the guys that are going to go, and all of these players will hit free agency as well. So here we go. We'll sum up to free agent filings. All right, so really quick, we have a trade to announce. We're going to be picking up Jordan Romano, who's on the last year of his deal with Milwaukee. He looks like he got traded there in the offseason. Or last offseason, and had a really good year with them, but they're rebuilding now, and they don't have a use for a good closer. So I'm going to capitalize on that, and we're giving them basically nothing. They're going to eat 55% of the deal, so just going to cost money. It'll be $3.7 million for us, and we have $54 million to spend. So we're in good shape even after that. So we'll add Romano, and that gives us a closer option. I don't think Josiah Gray is gonna close for us again. That was kind of just circumstantial, and he did a good job in that role. But I much prefer him in like a middle relief role, even though in arbitration he made almost $3.4 million. So we'll see. I don't know. We'll see where he lands. But free agents have filed, and I have my eyes on one guy, Walker Buehler. So there's obvious risk in this. He doesn't really have an out pitch, just looking at his makeup. And that kind of showed in his 7.9 Ks per 9. But I'm going to scout him, see what he looks like. He's only 30. He is eligible, or he does have draft pick compensation attached to him. I think we would lose. I think it's our third highest draft pick. I think that's how it works in the modern system, at least. If you're not a tax offender, which we weren't, and you don't have a top 10 pick, I think, so maybe we'll lose our fourth pick. I don't know. Either way, we'll lose like a third or fourth round pick if we do sign him, but not unreasonable. We could probably get him down to 4 years, which would be pretty ideal for us. I would give him 2 player options, honestly, and a player opt out. There's a lot of options here, but it might look better. So I would go like 18. 18. So what is that? $72 million for 4 years. So we'll make a tentative offer. I'm not going to lock into that. We'll see how the scouting report comes back. I'm sure he won't accept it in a week and a half. There's some other options out here. Like Justin Verlander could be a year guy, but he's a little more expensive. Pretty much it all lined up that Buehler is like reasonably cheap and a good pitcher. He has the injury risk, of course, because a lot of times he'll fall off a cliff in OTP, but sometimes you gotta, risk it a little bit. So we're still early in the rebuild. I guess Glasnow would be another guy, but I don't know. He also has his own injury things. He hasn't been hurt this save yet. I guess he would be another option. But maybe we'll come back and look at this again. Pablo Lopez is a cheap guy. Maybe we'll pick him up. But yeah, honestly, our rotation is pretty barren at the moment. We'll have Chris Midd in here, so it'll be. I don't even want to put Vera in. So it'll be Skeens. We'll have Chris Matt in. He actually might start opening day. We'll give it to Skeens. We'll have Cavalli probably, and then like some combination of like Andrew Lara, maybe Jorge Vera. Yeah, maybe Josiah Gray makes his way back to the rotation. I don't know. But yeah, we need like a good quality, like 2 or 3 starter here. So I think Bueller fits that bill quite well. So, all right, I'm gonna stop here, sim a little bit, see what happens. We'll update in just a sec. All right, so we have another trade to announce. We'll be picking up another reliever. We're kind of trying to stack up our bullpen and make our pitching as good as possible. So we're gonna give him Rowdy Reed, who we signed as a minor league guy last season. Put up a decent year in AAA. Nothing special, but he's 31. Has no major league experience really, but he's out of options somehow. Did he play like? Okay, so he played with Washington like a couple years back. But hasn't done much. And then we're picking up Yennier Cano, who, I don't know, Baltimore's they just want to get rid of him. He's on the trading block. I guess he's out of options, which is a reason, but, I mean, he pitched really well when he was in the majors, pitched really well in AAA, but they're just kind of done with him, so, not sure the reason behind this, but he doesn't have a bad personality or anything, so, I mean, I'll flip a backup catcher for a really solid reliever any day of the week, so. Gotta keep stacking up this bullpen. It's looking pretty good now. We got a couple bodies out here I like. I mean, the back end is Romano, Cano, Vasquez. We could probably afford to upgrade from Vasquez, but yeah, this relief core is looking pretty good. We just need that other starter. So I scouted Walker Bueller, and I don't know. I don't really. The lack of an out pitch is really killer. It showed in his Ks per 9 last year. And could he be a decent pitcher moving forward? Yeah, I'm sure he will be. But is he worth throwing a big contract at? Probably not. Especially if we can open that up to maybe eat some deals to pick up more prospects. Kind of like we did a lot in the Stampedes save where, we take on whatever the hell that guy from Chicago, the right fielder there. Sorry, my grandfather. Oh my God. Seiya Suzuki. We took on his contract and got some prospects with him to take his contract. So that's all to say that I think that's probably the better route to go at this point instead of throwing money at, a 2 or 3 starter that's way over market value. Or, I mean, even if it's at market value, even if he comes back and he wants to negotiate again and it's like 3 years, 15 mil, maybe I consider it then, but I don't want to pay. I don't know. I just really don't want to pay him that much money. But we have a couple other offers out. We have one for Patrick Sandoval, who I really like as an arm. Has some control issues, but has some good pitches and doesn't look like a bad pitcher. But he's only $1.2 million. Jose Quintana is kind of our big fish here. He's $10 million for 1 year, which it's a 1-year deal. There's no such thing as a bad 1-year contract. Although that's actually not true, so I don't know why people say that. But yeah, he's a pretty good arm. We can pick him up, and then Pablo Lopez offered a 1-year, $4 million deal too. So those 3 guys can slot into our rotation, probably in these 4 or 5 swingman roles. That pushes Vera, who no longer has 35 potential control, which does suck, but I mean, we moved him to a reliever here, and yeah, I mean, he could probably play with that 30 control, but he'll probably be a reliever, honestly, moving forward. And then Andrew Lara pushes him to more of a emergency starter role. So that's kind of the offseason plan at this point. We'll keep moving forward, see if there's any trades to be made. I think there will be, as some teams get into financial trouble moving into these saves, we can kind of bail them out. So we'll check in on that in just a sec and update that. Okay, so we have a few more contracts out, offers out. Danny Jansen, who I really like as a quasi-starting catcher for us. He'll probably split time with Ruiz behind the plate. Ruiz will play some DH first base. But he's a good defensive catcher and has some ability with the bat. Didn't play too well last year, but I like Jansen as a player. And we have an offer out for Nicky Lopez, OOTP legend, as a really good shortstop. Actually hit quite well, at least relative to him last year for Boston. Plays a good shortstop and second base. He'll keep the seat warm for someone long term, but he'll fill that void for now. And then we also have an offer out for Wilyer Abreu, who is a corner outfielder that I like, can play a little bit of first base, which I also like. basically whoever plays first base for me is just keeping the seat warm for Tommy White to eventually take that spot, either maybe later this season or next season. Probably later this season, honestly. But yeah, they'll keep the seat warm for him, which is why I don't really want to sign a guy long term. We'll probably, we'll mix in Ruiz at first. We'll figure out first base. Jacob Lou can play some different positions where, we'll just get everyone involved here until White comes up. Then eventually maybe Namala will come up, and then we have a team working here. So, I'm not going to play the complete long-term game with those guys because they could obviously bust at any second, but yeah, so we'll keep moving forward. I don't really know what else there is to do this offseason. We have some backup outfielders, which I have faith in these guys. Terrell Tatum is a guy I like. We got him in the Vera trade when we gave up Joey Meneses, who looks like they brought him back up. Looks like it was just a short stint in the minors, but yeah, he had a really good year again. Honestly, would be a nice guy to have in the lineup, but whatever. We got some good pieces back. But yeah, we have him in the outfield, and then we have Derek Hill, who didn't make an appearance in the majors this year after playing all the year last year up with us. But he's an option backing up. And then the infield, we have some different guys who could play around. Goldner, glove first guy, but didn't do too badly with the bat last year. We have Alika Williams still, Jeter Downs, who was quite decent in a small sample size last year. Then we have Antuña, who I still like, who play a little bit of first base, a little bit of third base. Jacob Lou had a nice season last year overall. And Wilfred Veras, who I still have hope for. So we have a ton of options. We'll just have to throw some crap against the wall and see what sticks. Then the rotation, we should have things patched up a little bit. So yeah, maybe this year we can make a playoff push. I'm not sure if that's reasonable, but a 500 record definitely is. So we'll come back with some more updates. I think international free agent signing will be next. That's mid-January. So unless any big free agents sign with us, which we don't really have any out there that we have offers to, yeah, we'll be back around the international free agent signing period. Okay, so we're here at the Real 5 draft, and I have eyes on a couple different guys. So this guy, Max Ferguson, 25 years old, third baseman by trade, but can play first, second, third. Probably even put him at short if you needed him to. Then also a good defensive outfielder. The upside offensively isn't horrible either. He's a lefty, which I don't love with our current configuration, but man, if he could put up decent numbers, he could definitely make the team and stick with us long term. So he's 25. He fits my criteria. So I'm going to draft him here. And then the other guy I liked was this Chris Clark guy. I think my 40-man's full, though, so probably can't do this. But yeah, he's a leader and not a bad pitcher either. I think we are full, yeah. And I mean, I already cleared it out to begin the offseason. Might have to just bite the bullet on Strasburg here and, see what we can do with that. He's looking like a lost cause. He's only okay, he still has 3 pitches, man. I thought he lost a pitch. Just want to see if anyone would eat, 10% of this deal just before I release him. Yeah, I didn't think so. All right, so 95 moves it. Where the heck's the option? We're going to add additional players. Oh, here we go. Let's do that. Multiplayer package. So would they do this if a 20%? Okay, so I can get Seiya Suzuki and swap bad contracts and get David Bodie. That didn't really seem worth it. They both have pretty bad deals. But I mean, if I can get anything for these guys at this point, Michael Toglia, not a bad player, but Kyle Freeland got to eat that deal. This one's interesting, actually. So we'd have to eat Eflin's deal, which is $18 million for 1 year. But I mean, we'd only get out from $5 million. It's not even worth it. So we're just gonna have to release him probably, which is fine. He actually forgot to mention this. His last start, I didn't start him another game after this, but I wanted him to end his career in Washington on a good note. But through three and a third hitless innings. So that's probably where he'll end. I might just put him on the Phantom IL all year. and hopefully he retires, because I don't know if I release him and then he retires. I don't know if I still have to eat that money, so I might just keep him on the roster. And then hopefully he retires after next year, and then I don't have to, eat that money. But anyway, that's just to say, we're gonna play the long game with him and kind of play a game of chicken, see who blinks first. Yeah, I kind of want all these guys on my 40. I guess Ben Lively is a guy we can look to move. He has an option year. All these guys pretty much have options, so like, I don't know. Are any of these guys? Yeah, I mean, let's see. We have 20. Okay, we have a ton of pitchers, so we gotta clear this out a little bit. So let's sort by potential. I mean, Thad Ward's a guy I like. He has a couple option years left, which is valuable. Matt Cronin, he has a couple left too. Jake Irvin does as well. So those guys are probably safe from the chopping block here. Mackenzie Gore also has options, but he's making some money. Let's see what his market looks like. So there's no one willing to give up any prospects for him. What if we retain like half of this deal? Paying the guy below league minimum. Wow, they signed him to a $9 million deal. Holy crap. I almost traded for him earlier. I didn't realize that they gave him that contract. Austin Martin's a guy, hey, I'm a big fan of him. And, this kind of makes sense. Does he have option years? He has 3 options left. We need a hitter. Kind of swapping, a couple of busts for each other. I still like Gore enough, but he's probably not a long-term guy. And, Austin Martin can play some different positions. Yeah, he's still got some outfield range. Can play some second base and third. So yeah, I think we can pull this off. Seems like a good trade on our end. Yeah, I'll eat 25% of that. So we'll pick up Austin Martin. Doesn't really help our 40-man roster spot, but actually, oh, he's not even nice. Okay, so he didn't have to be put on the 40 yet. All right, so we could take Chris Clark. I think I'm going to. He's 26, almost 27. And we're going to sim the rest of it because I don't want to take too many guys. And we're out of 40-man spot. Everson Pereira got picked up. Wow. I mean, if I needed an outfielder, I guess we could have used him, but he doesn't. Yeah, he's 23. Clark Schmidt. So the Yankees getting poached here. Why the heck? Why would they not start him? God. We took back Ferguson. Yeah, so, all right, we'll keep simming. International free agency is next, I believe. All right, so I just got this trade offer from Texas. And usually I don't even bother looking at these, but this one caught my eye. 24-year-old Brian Wu, who is a Seattle Mariners guy in real life, and played pretty well this year, I think. He has some, I don't know, they're talking about him for Soto or something right now. But yeah, he's at very worst probably a good reliever with some stamina. So is he any different than Josiah Gray? Gray might have a little bit more upside, but I don't know. He's making like 3.4 this year, gonna make $5.5 million next year. The saves this year really boosted up his arbitration estimates. So I don't know. And we're giving this like not nothing prospect, but not a guy it's really on my radar. But he's only 20, could be a guy long term potentially if he gets some TCR. But yeah, I think this makes a lot of sense. We're getting a guy has one option year, so we can move between the minors and majors this year, making the minimum, which is big. And we don't have no money to spend, but if we could save $4 million on a guy who's gonna be in our bullpen, but how much longer will he be there? I think this makes a lot of sense. So as much as I like Josiah Gray, I think this is good value to get for him. Also, this is looking like I should have took Dolander with that pick, but whatever. Yeah, we're gonna pull the trigger on this. Yeah, fans aren't happy that we lost Josiah Gray, but it was smart for long-term longevity for this team. So Yeah, because, like, where is he going to pitch in this bullpen? Like, we have a bunch of bodies already. So there you go. We also made, I guess, a new offer to Walker Buehler. So he didn't want to negotiate anymore. Then he didn't get any offers, so he came back to us. So we wound up getting him down to 2 years, 17.5 mil, which is a very reasonable contract for a two-starter. Even one that doesn't have a ton of upside. Now we're kind of in a bidding war, which I'm concerned about, but there we go. We got some guys. Danny Jansen signed his deal. Lopez, Sandoval. So all these guys together is about $12 million for 3 players, which will probably all play an impact on this team. We do still have the 40-man issue, so we'll have to make some trades to clear up some space, but we also got Wilyer Abreu, so it's good to see. We'll put him in AAA. And if we get Buehler, that's pretty much rounds out our team going into the year, I think. They want to give us Austin Wells. I do like Wells. Had a monster year in AAA, but just blocked in the majors. Belgrave's not a guy I really want to give up. He has too high of upside as a reliever. But, I mean, if you took Belgrave out, yeah, I don't think so. All right, so we're going to keep moving forward. International, actually, that'll start in a few days. Let me make sure I'm scouted up on. My main targets are this guy, Lano, who he had 65 range when I first saw him. That's dropped to 60, so less intriguing. But this guy, Alfredo Molina, I like a ton. Good catcher, good personality. This guy's interesting too as an infielder. Then I got some more dart throw guys down here that have cheap demands. So we'll see how this plays out. We'll sim a couple days. Maybe we'll go through that here. So we lost a 3rd round pick for Buehler. That was kind of expected, but we did sign him. 2 years, 35 mil, 17.5 per season. Not going to cripple the team long term, which I like, but we also get, like a 2-starter for us. So I need to clear up some place on the 40-man to get these guys on the roster. So I'll do that, come back, then we'll do international free agency. Okay, so here's the 40-man roster dump. So it's like basically a 5-for-1. We threw in Kyle Luckham as well. Decent player, who knows. But yeah, we're getting rid of Baldonado, Ben Lively, Matt Cronin, Thad Ward, and Jeter Downs, who are all guys who I thought might, compete for a 40-man roster spot. So I didn't waive and DFA them when the offseason started. But now that we've made some signings, these guys are pretty much the expendables. The guys that we don't really need. Matt Cronin's probably the most interesting of the bunch, but we've seen Jeter Downs. He was okay last year. Thad Ward's been a good pitcher, but not a guy in the long-term plans. Ben Lively and Baldonado are fine, but we're picking up Dylan Floro. He is making some money this year, which is why they're willing to take on so many guys that are due to be on their 40. But we'll see what they do with these guys. But yeah, we're open up 4 spots. We take on Floro's money, so that allows us to add all of these guys to our active roster, and that should probably wrap up the offseason. I don't know if I have outstanding offers. We have one for Syndergaard, who I wanted to sign because he's very popular. Let's see where this pitching staff. Okay, so we'll have Buehler. Buehler will probably start the first game. We'll have Skeens, Chrismet, Cavalli, Lopez, Sandoval will fight. These guys will kind of fight for the... I think Chrismet kind of earned it, but these guys will fight for the last 2 spots. We have Floro out in the bullpen. I mean, our bullpen is much improved. And then, these guys are all guys with options, minus Strasburg. And then the lineup looks okay, too, after getting Jansen. So, basically, my plan with this is to have Jansen start most of the time. I'm going to start Ruiz probably every 3rd game at catcher. He'll start at DH the rest of the time. And then we did sign Nicky Lopez as well. I think he's actually... Yeah, he's on my 40 already, so... I may as well just add him to the roster. He's going to make the team. So he'll be my shortstop heading into the year. And then that pretty much wraps up how this team's going to look. Pending injuries, of course. But, yeah, really excited for this season. I think we have a good shot. So we'll We'll sim up to internationals. It's right in a couple days. Here we go. Also, I didn't even mention this. Noah Denoyer went out with a torn flexor tendon toward the end of the year. It was it was right at the end of the season, so he'll miss all of next year. But he put up some decent numbers last year. About a league average pitcher according to ERA. FIP probably says the same. So that sucks to lose him. But he was a Rule 5 guy. Not a huge deal if he doesn't work out. So here we go with internationals. So we have the most money to spend in the league, so we can make top offers to guys. But I think it might be smart to go quantity over quality this time around. So Alfredo Molino's a guy I love, and I might offer him 2.6. See if I could double the money, get him without having to bid. Then we have 3.1 to spend. So Juan Corral's a guy I really like. Of course, these ratings don't really mean anything, but he's a guy who I think could work out. Osorio's another guy, but he's a little more expensive. Paredes is okay. I mostly threw a dart because he was cheap. That catcher's okay. This is all batters. Okay, so yeah, I'll throw a dart at Coral too. We'll do 600,000. Try to not get into bidding war. That's kind of the goal of this. So then we have 2.5 to spend. So I like this Bionso guy. We'll go with 1.8, 1.9. Let's go 1.9. We have 600,000. So we'll see what happens with these first couple guys as we begin the period. Also, Hall of Fame. Todd Helton gets in. Billy Wagner is not. That's disappointing. So we did sign Noah Syndergaard as well, so we have to open up another 40-man spot. It'd be nice if I could put... Yeah, I can't put him on the 60. Do I just... I can't bite the bullet on him yet, because I don't want to eat that money. Damn it. Del Pozo, he's out of options. Do I really see him making this team? Let's see what he has for... Let's see if he has any value. He does not. Okay, so... I guess Jake Irvin. He'll probably pass through waivers anyway, so it's not a big deal. But we'll waive in DFA. I'm trying to keep him on the in the organization. So negotiations are going well. Looks. Okay, so the Rays one up does on Molina. Of course, they give him more than we're allowed. Okay. So let's see what so I off the Quintana offer. Let's see if we'd go down to like 1 for 5. Yeah, okay, no. Okay, so Molina, I like him, but I don't know if I like him that much. He's 18. Isn't really that well developed. We're gonna see if we can get Bisogno and Corral, and we do. Okay, so those guys, I know we got them for really cheap, so we still have 3.2 mil to spend. Lotto hasn't really gotten too much attention yet. Let's throw him 2, see how it goes. I want to give us a nothing prospect for Jose Siri. I'm all set, and wow. Some of these trade offers are so bad. Jake Cunningham's not really a good prospect anymore. They want Chris Smith. I mean, Tristan, this is a way more reasonable offer. I'd be willing to include Cunningham for sure. Don't really need a first baseman, though, so we'll probably pass. We have Tommy White coming, so I don't want to block him. All right, so the Rays upped us again. Screw you. Okay, so back to the drawing board here. Okay, this might be doable. Let's just offer him 2.5, see how it goes. I like Osorio. Yeah, he's got some good upside with the glove. Or at least a high floor. So we have to add Syndergaard to the roster. He's just a really popular guy, which is why I wanted to sign him. And then Jake Irvin, send him to AAA. So team chemistry, looking really good. We have a ton of leaders, one captain, spark plug, and Antuna's selfish, but whatever. And then I wanted to see fan interest 76. So we're in a good spot. Heading into year 3 here. So Osorio. Christian Arroyo got the freaking bag from the Rockies. That's such a Rockies move, man. Oh my god. Guy overachieves one season, you throw $12-15 million a year at him. There we go. We got our budget raise, 14 mil, as the preseason begins. So financially, that leaves us with 22 mil to spend. So I'm gonna put 36 million into development, 20 into scouting. That leaves us with 12 for the draft and deadline stuff, and we could probably increase our tickets too, as our fan interest has also skyrocketed. So I haven't heard anything from Osorio. I guess we're still the leading offer, but he's taking his sweet time with this. Okay, the Orioles upped us. We can't offer any more. Let's go back. Okay, so I like some of these pitchers, just as like dart throw type of guys. You know, he's got 3 pitches, good stamina. Same with Garza. So let's go with a couple of cheap guys here. Give them both 300,000. See how it goes. We still have a lot of money to spend. 2.6 to offer. Yeah, Solano's already outpriced us. So is he. Paredes is cheap. Let's throw some money at him. I still like this Castillo guy. He was a little more expensive. We'll go 1.2. I don't want to throw too much at him. But he's another guy I had targeted. And let's see. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. Hopefully no more bidding wars. And player development update. This is always a big one to start the offseason. Or to end the offseason, begin the preseason. Vasquez dropped a little bit. Vargas, it's fine. James Wood, this is a big one. His overalls went up. So yeah, nothing really too crazy, but mostly good, besides Vera. So Paredes got upped by the Athletics. We'll offer him a little bit more. So we got Garza, Castillo, and Benavides. A couple guys I liked. And Paredes still considering our offer. And he signs. Perfect. So any other guys that I sign, I'll just do off camera. They probably won't be as big of a deal. We have, let's see, 750,000. So we'll come back probably beginning of spring training and update what's going on. All right, so we're here at the start of spring training. This is kind of what my lineups are looking like. I want to give all of these guys a shot to show what they have, basically. An interesting name is Brady House, who played in high A last year and was pretty decent. I want to give him, a little bit more time in spring, see what he can do. I think he'll probably start the year in Double A. I think he's okay for it. I don't know what his upside is, but I want to give him a shot. And then, we have a bunch of guys fighting for these infield spots. Some outfield spots that are up for grabs. Cedric Mullins, we signed him to a minor league deal. He has a shot to make the team as the strong side platoon partner with Jose Siri. And then, we have a couple different guys. Josenberger, a guy I have really high hopes for. Maybe center fielder of the future. We'll see. But had a really good year in Double-A last season. And then pitching-wise, these are kind of the guys we're throwing out there. I don't want to say I'm hoping Strasburg gets hurt, but I'm hoping he does, so I can throw him in the 60-day Phantom IL. He's just so bad now. So, yeah, I'm gonna throw him in the starting rotation. I would never hope for a guy to get hurt in real life. This is a video game, so I don't feel as bad about it. But yeah, we're gonna sit in spring training, come back opening day. Be back. All right, here at opening, or not quite opening day, but a couple days out. Now we're at opening day. And we'll kind of go through what's happened. There was some bad TCR that kind of happened with a lot of our guys. So some of our top prospects aren't quite looking as good anymore. None other than Tommy White. So top 10 prospects here. Cannon Handy still number 1. My God. So looks like our dude Schwartz fell out of the top 10. Tommy White's now number 47. You see, he lost 10 contact potential, which is huge. 5 power potential. Went from an 80 potential to a 55. Super unfortunate. There's no reason this should have happened. I don't know, whatever. Nothing we could do. Namala at 55. He moves up, I think. Maybe down just a few spots around where he was. And then Jarlin Susanna slots in at number 66. Elijah Green moves back into the top 200. He's 171. He'll start the year in A-ball. We'll see how he turns out. Armando Cruz, number 177. And Alvaro Bizono, who is an international guy we signed this offseason. He is in the top 200, 183. Then you see some other guys that are, familiar names, I guess. Alex Mooney is a guy I still like. He lost a little bit of range, looks like in this offseason, but he'll start the year in high A. Could make a push to the Major League roster this year, depending on how things go. But this is our opening day roster. So lefties and righties, pretty similar lineups, actually. We don't have a ton of platoon issue guys, so yeah, these are the guys that made it. No real surprises besides Elvis Andrews, who had a nice spring, can play some shortstop, so we have him on the team. And Yasel Atunya, who did not have a great spring, but he was one of the few guys that actually got a dev increase. So contact went up 5, power went up 5, his current eye went up 5 as well. So he looks like a decent player. We're going to give him a shot. Plenty of playing time to go around. Trey Lipscomb did not have a great spring. Limited plate appearances, but we'll give him a shot just because of the year he had last year, but he's not guaranteed to, be our starting third baseman moving forward. And then Cedric Mullins also made the team. Had a decent spring. I like him as a platoon guy with Siri. So he's playing every other game against righties and then just backing up against lefties. The pitching staff, we didn't have a ton of injuries or anything, so we have 7 starters going into the season. So Sandoval and Syndergaard, who both had good springs. It was unfortunate that I had to, kind of put them in the bullpen to start, but I'm sure they'll get a shot. Yeah, Kate Cavalli had an awesome spring, like really quality starts all around, so he got a spot. Then Pablo Lopez did get a start in rotation spot despite a rough spring. It was mostly blown out by this last start, but he's the first guy. If something goes wrong, he'll be out of the rotation for one of these two guys. He was just the most expensive guy out of the group, so I'll give him the shot to start over Syndergaard and Sandoval. But these guys should all make some starts this season. And then we have Skeen started opening day. He lost a little bit more development. You can see his movement went down. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens with him, but he's not the guy we drafted number 2 overall. And then Walker Buehler will get the second start. He had a nice spring, just out of the bullpen. Then Nabil Chrismet and Cavalli and Lopez. So then the bullpen is Romano, who lost a little bit of ratings. Yanir Cano, Andrew Vasquez, and then we got Art Warren, Jacob Lopez, Dylan Floro, and Cole Henry. So let's do opening day here. We actually had a pretty good spring. We finished like 14-12. with backups in mostly. So let's do it. Opening day against New York. This is the Mets. And they did wind up signing Jose Quintana. So they got him on a 1 year. Yeah, pretty reasonable deal. But let's do it. Paul Skeens on the mound. And I have to add these guys to my 40-man. I think I have a couple slots. Okay, I think that's everyone. Yeah, okay. So we lose 2-1. But a good start by Skeens. Lopez blew it, and then Danny Jansen a couple hits in his debut, and Cedric Mullins also his first hit as a National. So second game, Walker Buehler on the mound, our big free agent signing, and we lose 6-4. Luis Garcia three hits, Siri a couple hits, Lopez a couple hits. Buehler not too bad, but the bullpen blows it again. So actually a 4-game set to open it up. So Chrisman on the mound, and we win. Abrams gets 3 hits, and looks like it was a pretty nice comeback off of Edwin Diaz in the 9th. Is this interesting? Yeah, we get to Edwin Diaz. Ruiz drove in a run. Wood did as well, and Mullins the 2-run home run against Diaz to tie it up. So game 4 of the season, Cade Cavalli on the mound, and we lose 4-3. So the offense didn't do too much that series. Overall, Lipscomb had a nice start to the year. He got a home run in this game. And it looks like it was Art Warren who blew it in this one. So the bullpen definitely not looking great after that first series. But yeah, we may as well sim Lopez's start, see how he does. We win 7-5. Lipscomb a couple more hits. Ruiz 2 hits. Lopez not great. The bullpen does a good job though to get the win. So we start 2-3. But that'll wrap up the episode. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time in episode 5. Peace.